This video is sponsored by Wildlife Command Center Coffee. More about them at the end of the video. Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome to the very first episode of, and I just forgot the title, Two
filmmakers reviewing one film.
There we go. Thank you, Jonathan. Two filmmakers reviewing one film. And like I said, this is the first episode and I've already forgotten the title of it. And
it's obviously a long title.
It is a long title, and I get it. I'm getting it confused with this one here. So, but it's a good spinoff of this one here. And so just let everybody know, first episode, two filmmakers reviewing one film. There we go. I think I got the title right now. Perfect. And where's my finger? Who's this guy? Who's right next to me?
Is that Jason?
No, that's you. That's Jonathan Moody.
Well, no, but I'm over here.
Well,
you're pointing behind you.
But I'm actually not.
No, you're actually pointing to Jason behind you.
My fingers, it looks like it's going that way, but it's actually not. Well, this is Jonathan Moody, and he's on the first episode.
There you go.
So he's my first guest.
How you doing?
I'm fine. Thanks for being here. I am good. How about yourself?
Pleasure.
Great. So hopefully this is
fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and thank you for being here on the pilot episode of this notorious, fabulous episode of that we're doing here. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is that I wanted to kind of flip it and have Jonathan review a movie with me, but where I'm the host and he's the guest. And I had originally picked a film called Massacre at Central High, which you could see on YouTube. It's a great film from like the late 70s, early 80s. And but then I saw on Netflix this film called Night Teeth. And I thought, what is that? And so I looked at the trailer and I went, oh shit, this actually looks good. And then said, Jonathan, switch it. We're going to check out the trailer for this one. And he was like, yeah, this looks good. So we watched it last night, and now we're here to talk about it.
I actually didn't watch the trailer.
Oh, you didn't?
I just said it was good. No, I just said it was good. I really don't like checking out trailers to movies I've never heard of, because I like, if I've never heard of them, I really want to go in blind.
Makes sense.
And everything. So I'm like, so I just told you, I just told you it was a good choice. And if it were a bad choice, I would have been like, John, you got bad taste.
I know.
But no, I actually thought it was a fun movie. So
yeah, we were kind of texting back and forth while watching it, and our reviews seemed to be the same. So I was really surprised. I really enjoyed it. I thought the trailer looked like Collateral, just with vampires. And you had mentioned The Warriors, which I could see that too. Seemed to be like a combination of
I think I saw
films.
Yeah, well, I think because at the time that I said that, I think I was a little ahead of you or whatever. And I said it because there was a time where like all the other vampires are coming after them. It's like gangs of vampires coming after so it almost felt Warriors like, it's like they have to get to certain places and kill off all the vampires. It's like a video game.
Yeah, it's very colorful, it's very bright, it has a very kind of neon look to it, and I just thought that it looked fun. And so I'll read what they say here on IMDb about it. So it says, a college student moonlighting as a chauffeur picks up two mysterious women for a night of party hopping across LA. But when he uncovers their bloodthirsty intentions and their dangerous, shadowy underworld, he must fight to stay alive. Yeah, okay. I guess that's an okay synopsis for it. More or less, I guess.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I think there's more to it than that, but
Yeah.
they don't. I think that's the most like non-spoilerish version of the movie, So I'd agree. Like I'd see that and I go, oh my god, that sounds cool, and then I would watch the movie, and then I'd be like, oh, it was sort of like that, but it had more to it,
Yeah, and surprisingly, there's nobody in this that is unlikable. Like all the characters, even the villains, are likable. Like you like everybody. I mean, I didn't want to see anybody die. I didn't want to see anybody really live, except for the lead, really. And I think that the film's been out long enough to where we could do spoilers. I think that that's fine.
I always do spoilers no matter what, because fuck it. If you're watching a review about a movie, like and unless it says, non-spoilers included or something, expect spoilers. And
yeah.
So I don't care. So let's fucking spoil it.
Yeah. So we meet up.
Wait, hold on. Wait, is it spoil it or is it spoiler it?
Oh.
Because I always say spoil it, but like I guess it's spoil, but spoilers.
Well, I guess if you told me back in the day that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father, I'd be like, spoilers, dude, spoilers.
I don't think so. I don't think they said that back when
I don't think so.
Just found out. I think they said, "Hey, that was mean.
Hey, asshole! Why did you say that?
Why did you ruin it for me?"
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, okay, so I'm looking at the director. So let's see what else he's done, because I haven't even looked. So Adam Randall, and he has done, wow, not a lot. He did a
nope. He only did one other movie. I think I See You, and that had Helen Hunt in it for like a one-time film. That's freaking amazing. He got Helen Hunt in his movie. Yeah, he hadn't really done much.
Yeah, so we have like Hooded, which was a short.
Oh, you didn't know there's shit. I didn't even see that.
Easier Ways to Make a Living, which was a short. Reflections was a short. Level Up, I Boy, I See You, and then Night Teeth. He was a writer on Level Up and Hooded, and he was a producer on Hooded. So that's a pretty big achievement to his short films and stuff. These must be pretty good for him to get a gig on Netflix.
I mean, well, it's sort of funny because he has a gig on Netflix. So does this, the writers, Brent Dillon, and this is his only credit.
Wow. Okay.
So how the fuck do people get that though? Like, I guarantee you this guy won a contest, like that seems to be the thing. It's like the dude won a contest, and all of a sudden a company like Netflix is, sponsored it or whatever, that's the only thing I can imagine, because how else do a one-time filmmaker with no IMDb credits get a movie into Netflix like that? Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's country of origin, United Kingdom and United States, filmed all in Los Angeles. Yeah, it's almost 2 hours. Yeah, I don't know. Tagline is paint the town red.
That's kind of cool.
But yeah, I have to agree with you on that one with the, how does that happen to?
Well, and this is going to be a problem, in my opinion, because other writers out there are going to use that as an excuse. Oh, this guy got a movie on Netflix, and he only has one credit to his name. Who knows how many scripts he's written in his life, like he's probably written a shit ton of scripts. We all know that as writers. We've written many things that have never been published, but or even bought. Maybe he has gotten scripts that have been bought and then just never made yet.
That happens. Yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah, because it's definitely I wouldn't say it's a horribly original script, because it's you mentioned Warriors, I mentioned Collateral. The main vampire is named Victor, and they constantly talk about underworld.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, so it's definitely one of those films that's taken from about 20 other movies to make this. But
yeah, it feels very True Blood too. Like it's got a little bit of True Blood to it too. I mean, but that's the thing with any vampire movie, period, is now we look at that and we go, okay, that movie has kids as vampires. It must be Twilight or Vampire Diaries. That movie has adults as it must be Underworld or was it Dracula or all the different other 20,000 other vampire movies that
right.
So I mean, there's nothing completely 100% original when it comes to the vampire genre or subgenre, but the way they did it, and even the truce thing. I've seen there's a little movie called Dracula's Curse done by the Asylum, and that has a truce that gets broken, so a lot of this shit's not original, but how they did it and how it was directed, some of the shots were fucking amazing. I mean, this movie was very well done,
Yeah, they took a script that was fun, not original, but fun. And the director just made a giant comic book out of it. And it's, like I said, it's incredibly bright. Blues are blues, pinks are pinks. It's very neon. And it really does feel like a comic book. And I think that helped with it. And plus all the actors are good too. I don't really recognize any of the actors. I think at least they're kind of unknown to me.
Other than Megan Fox, I mean, I think I've heard of her,
Just her, just a little bit. She's only been in one or two movies, and
one or two movies. But
why is she in this? She's in the film for 5 minutes.
Well,
was it a favor?
The villain, Victor. Do you know who he is?
I do not.
He's Theon Greyjoy from fucking Game of Thrones. So he's a huge name, and he's a UK guy. That's probably where the UK stuff comes from or whatever. But he's a UK actor, and he's fucking Alfie Allen. He's amazing. He's been in other stuff other than Game of Thrones, but but like everybody, I think that was I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I know he was Theon. Theon Greyjoy in Game of Thrones. So wonderful actor. He did an okay job as the villain in this. I'm not gonna lie. I was sort of not threatened by him at all.
I would agree.
And I think that was a little bit of the problem with the movie, was that like the villain didn't seem very villainous, like he didn't. It seemed like the girls were doing more work than he was, and he wasn't very intimidating, and sadly that's a little bit of Alfie himself. I mean, I hate to say it, anybody named Alfie is probably not going to be intimidating when you see him anyway. But sorry, that's a mean joke. But no, but he is he just was not. He just didn't come off that way at all to me. He just was kind of, I don't know, a little, little blah, as far as being a villain.
Well, and I mean, who knows if there'll be a sequel to this or not, but it's one of those things where maybe they got him, especially at that young age, and maybe because of his appearance, it gives him more of that kind of now generation, more kind of a millennial type of thing where I can rule everything and I'm going to take it away from all the older vampires or humans, and I'm going to make it my own. So he's a little more, a little more conceited, I'm owed it, it's mine. So maybe they got him for that type of reason. I mean, I agree with you. I didn't find him threatening. I thought he was fine in the role. I mean, it didn't really bug me. Like, I never thought, ew, why am I watching this guy? Right. But I definitely think the two women, Blair and Zoe, were much more threatful, than he was.
Especially Zoe. I loved her. Like she just blew me away. I never watched Vampire Academy, which I guess is her big thing she was in. That's also another she played another vampire in that, but that's more like Disney or whatever. That's more not kid friendly. This was her grown up doing
Okay.
vampires, and it was fun. I thought she was cute. She had a lot of but she also had a little scary side to her, which I loved when she went psycho at times. I was just like, oh, that's so adorable.
Well,
I'm like,
Benny.
I wouldn't want to mess with her though.
Oh, no, 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 no. And Benny, who's the driver, their chauffeur, I guess you could say, has to drive them around from party to party throughout the whole night. Because I think, what did they say? It was something like a 12-hour, like an all night thing. If he had just stayed in the car, that's all he had to do. That's all they told him to do. Stay in the car, keep it running. And if he had done that instead of being curious, it probably would have been fine.
Well, they wanted him to come up there though, I figured, because they weren't very surprised when they saw him, They were like, "Hey, we told you to stay in the car," and blah blah blah, and get mad at him. They sort of wanted him to see that because they thought it was his brother, Jay.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was Jay, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's his brother's name, yeah.
Yeah. So they thought it was him. And so they were like waiting for him to do that so that they could show that they've turned and become these, vicious.
You think so? You think so? Because he doesn't really, he's curious, and then he finds like that kind of like ruby thing. And that's what lets him upstairs. So I figured they just wanted him to stay in the car, kind of like Collateral, that as long as he stayed in the taxi, what's his face, Jamie Foxx, if he stayed in the taxi and let Vincent, Tom Cruise, do his thing, the night would have ended much differently. But of course, with that film, Jamie Foxx loved the girl that he was supposed to assassinate. So,
right.
So that's a little different. But I don't know. I kind of thought that if he just stayed in the car, things might have been different instead of him, But yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's possible because they were going to kill him because they thought he was Jay anyways.
Right. I mean, they figured they're eventually, I think they were going to bring him to Victor at the end of the whole thing,
right.
And then he was, that was the whole point, was like at the end, and then when they found out this is Benny, not Jay, they're like, oh, fuck, what are we going to, he's going to have to lead us to Jay then, or whatever. I love the interaction between the fat cop, that's in it or whatever. That's like, and they said like he's your favorite piggy,
yeah,
and everything. I just had a lot of fun with it. Like it just seemed like, because I make movies that are made in a cinematic universe kind of thing with vampires and werewolves and other things and stuff. And so this was sort of fun for me to watch because I felt like I was watching a whole cinematic universe where the town, like, we're supposed to pretend like vampires didn't actually exist, right? Like you weren't supposed to, humans aren't supposed to know that,
right.
But the ones that do, some of them want to, I guess they want to have fun with that. Like that was what they were doing. Like they were being kind of drained of their blood, but not supposed to be all the way. They're supposed to be drained enough to get like a thrill out of it or something.
Yeah, it's like a kink. It's like their kink that they like. Yeah. Like it's kind of like how this is a totally different movie, but Rings, the third Ring movie, is that they would watch the video and then right before they were going to die, they would have somebody else watch it. So then they could kind of get the hallucinations and they could kind of get that feeling. And that was their whole thing. That was like the thing that the college students were doing, was watching it. And then like an hour before they die, they get somebody else to watch it. And then an hour before that person dies. So it's kind of like a kink or a thrill that you do, that kind of adrenaline thing. And, but yeah, the one Zoe, I think it was Zoe, right, who went too far. No. It was Blair who went too far.
No, it was Zoe.
Was it Zoe?
Yeah,
Who
Zoe
kept
always went too far. That was the problem. But she didn't. She didn't. The thing was, the Blair was supposed to go too far, and then she got distracted by the guy coming in, by Benny coming in. So when she got distracted by Benny coming in, she like left her duties, and the other guy was already dead, but the other guy didn't die yet, and he was like freaking out, like, hey, what's going on? And like, hey, and then he's like, then we get a little bit more of the backstory on it, some more exposition, where the guy says, you guys aren't supposed to be doing this. When our people find out, we're all gonna kill you and stuff. And, because you're not supposed to do it in Boyle Heights or something or whatever, like one of the
Yeah,
areas.
that's like a kind of like a sanctuary area, I guess, for humans, and like so the vampires are not allowed to go in there. But Victor violated that by kidnapping Jay's girlfriend or wife. I forget if she was a girlfriend or wife, but I don't. I guess just Victor wanted everything. Hey, what's that mug there? What mug you got there?
Mugs. I got was it? Oh shoot, it's kind of hard to do that. Head of the family.
So he's got his full moon. I got my Evil Bong 777 mug.
Nice.
And yes, we did plan this to let people know. So this is like,
I was like thinking that too, like, people are gonna think, oh well, that's cool. They didn't plan this and it happened. No, we fucking planned it.
No, we planned it. No,
whatever.
No,
we're not that.
Yeah, we're not that geeky. But it's because there's so many of these films out there. Even like Underworld, there was supposed to be the truth between the vampires and the Lycans, and then the humans were never supposed to know about them. And
right.
So there's been a lot of this type of thing, and so I almost would like to see a prequel to this. And you could still have the two girls in it. You wouldn't be able to have Benny, but it'd be kind of nice to see how this whole thing got set up.
Well, you could have Benny even for like a brief second talking to Jay, or whatever.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like, because Jay's obviously known about it for a while and just never told Benny about it. And I would like to see that because, the sad thing is we didn't get to see Jay's girlfriend at all. Really saw her in the 10 minutes or 5 minutes in the beginning. And then she gets kidnapped and then killed and eaten.
Made into food. So, yeah.
I know. I think it was sad. I didn't think they needed, but obviously like it needed that like thing at the end where, he's like, he's doing this for, to get not revenge, but, get justice for his girl.
Yeah. And I almost thought maybe that Victor was messing with Jay, like maybe this wasn't, it was like a different person that he was eating, and like the girlfriend was like in a dungeon somewhere, but no, we never see that. So I guess he was eating her.
Oh, and we saw her like memorial and shit. So I mean, she was dead for sure.
Yeah,
she had
definitely.
a graveyard and everything. So I mean, she was dead. But okay, can we talk about how terrible that scene with the car crashing and everything is? Because the thing that really bothered me is this guy's never been in this house before, and yet he knows exactly where
at the end
the car. Yeah. I was like, I don't buy that. That's the one part I really.
Well, he did see the one person walking inside, and I don't know, I guess he just aimed it at the windows and took a chance.
Yeah, it would be funnier if he had like planned it for one place and it was the exact opposite part of the house, because that's how it really would have been, because they wouldn't have been like, oh, we're going to set it up exactly right here so you can shove your car into the thing and, and
right by a window.
Right by a window so we can all. And why did the car stop?
I guess it got stuck. Maybe like it got stuck under furniture or whatever. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a new car. My car is, a little old, but are there cars out there where you could just push a button and it just speeds at what, in that direction? Is that a
I
real
know.
thing that cars
Well,
do?
he had a brick on the thing, so all he was doing is turning it on. So then it was brick on the pedal, so it just started and went right when he started it, clicked it on.
Okay.
I,
Oh,
I
okay.
got I
Yeah.
got that. That didn't bother me. Bothered me is where he did it and how that worked out. I was like, I don't buy it. And there was a couple things that people pointed out in reviews, like on IMDb, that I totally get. Like one person had a complaint about the fact that like he knows that these two chicks are like vampires and murderers and everything, and he brings them to his grandma's house. Like, really? No,
Well, I
no.
guess because he likes the one girl, he likes Blair.
I know, but he knows how Zoe is. No, he's not going to bring him to his girlfriend's house. Some people said they checked out after that. They're like, nope, I don't buy this movie, and I get that. Like, I let it be when I watched it because I was like, that's cute. He's bringing her to see grandma, and there's going to be some cute little interactions, and there was, but like other than that, it wasn't like it was totally unbelievable. Like this dude would not do that.
I'm not sure because where else would he go? I mean, well, plus he said that his grandma is working late, but at times she does come home early, so maybe he was expecting her not to be there.
Um, I don't know. He lives with his grandma, right? Like he lived there. That was his place, right?
Yeah, he mentions like his parents died and then she took him in, so that's his. I think it's the grandma's house, and then Jay, who's actually his stepbrother, we keep calling him his brother, but it's a stepbrother, lives there from time to time. And then I guess that Benny is there all the time. And then Zoe is, like you said, that she's kind of crazy. So she was planning on killing Benny and the grandmother, anyways. That was kind of her plan. Because she was saying that to Victor.
She didn't kill the grandmother, though.
No, they didn't get that far. I think because they had to leave, so they had to split, and Blair kind of started to intervene. But that's
she didn't want him going, and then he was like, "I'm gonna go because I wanna be there for you." Because he wanted to be with her, the rest of the night.
She's hot, and they're about the same age, so I mean, luck out on that one.
What could have been cool is if the grandma came and saw them leaving, because she was just like letting his grandson like do whatever, right? And at her house too, by the way, like that. Was crazy.
I think it's one of those things because where she makes a comment that, oh, Benny never brings anybody home. Benny never brings one girl home. Benny never brings two girls home. So maybe she just wanted him to get laid. Maybe that's the thing. It's like, okay, he's straight. He's got these two hot girls with him. He's, and now I'm just going to kind of let things take its course, because he's such a music nerd.
It was really cute when she says it in Spanish or whatever. That I don't want any grandkids or something in Spanish, and then the girl says something to her in Spanish, so knowing that she knows, and the grandma just kind of laughs, walks away because now she knows like the girl understood what she just said. It was cute.
Well, yeah, and you would think if I think it was Zoe who said that she's 200 years old. So I'm not sure how old Blair is. I don't think she mentioned it, but probably around the same time, somewhere in there.
No. Blair's
she?
young. She was, and remember, she mentioned in the 1970s, the girl was throwing like those like Andy Warhol type parties or something.
Oh, so she wasn't turned yet at that point.
No, yeah, she was a young, and then what's her name turned her. I remember hearing that and going,
oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, and I laughed at that because that's what Laurel Canyon was in the 70s. I mean, that's so that made me laugh that the writer of this actually did his research. So
he might have lived through that time period.
That's true. He could be older. Who knows?
Yeah. But anyway, or maybe he knows the history of LA because he lived in LA, or whatever. Fascinating. But
now, before starting this, though, you had mentioned that you were not a fan of the songs in the movie. But you like the
Right.
score?
I love the score. I like, look, I don't mind rap songs, but like when they have nothing to do with like the movie itself at all, like or anything, or like give any kind of theme to it, it's just like club music, the whole time. I kind of drown that out after a while. I'm just like, I don't want to hear this because it's not my style. I don't like clubs, so why would I want to go listen to that for a whole movie? But it, it seemed to not bother you that much, and it didn't bother me. It's just,
No,
like I said, I drowned it out.
yeah, I thought it matched the film because it seemed to be just one giant club. And that's,
Right.
so even when you're outside with all the neon and the speeding cars and even the action scenes, it seemed to, to just kind of match the music. Would I, because I'm not even sure if this is, I don't think this is rap music. Isn't it like trance? Is that what they call it? Like trance music? And
I
it's
don't
what you
know.
just hear in clubs?
Some of it was rap music. Some of it was, I think they call it trap music or something or whatever. But it's like rap, like stuff about like I'm popping pussy tonight and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, it's girls singing it too and shit. And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about this music. Like, can I get back? It would drive Paul up the wall. Like he hates that kind of music because it honestly, it just doesn't say anything. Like it's just the same shit and it's just different song. And I sort of agree, but people like
Yeah.
it. So
I looked it up and it says trance is a genre of music or genre of music trance is a genre of electronic dance music that emerged from the British new age music scene and the early 1990s German techno and hardcore scenes. So yes, I think that's what it is. I think it's trance.
so maybe some of it might have been that. Some of it might have been like, a lot of the score might have been. But the rap, there was a lot of rap music in it in hip hop, and just didn't really do much for me.
Yeah, I mean I got the score, and if they ever released one, probably with the songs on it, I would have it too, just to have both. But yeah, I don't know how often I would actually listen to it. So but I thought that it matched the film. I thought it was fine. It was okay. I don't think that it would fit, a different movie. I don't think that it would fit, I don't know, Army of Thieves, maybe not, that type of
Right.
thing. So, but it's still, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I thought the directing was good. I thought the editing was good. The pacing of it was good. I'm surprised that it was almost 2 hours, but it didn't feel like it.
Oh no. I was thinking about when I was watching it, going, "Oh my god!" Like it's just flying. Like there's just so much going on at once that's actually interesting enough to keep me going. Like I want to know what's going to happen next, and like it didn't slow down at all, and I had a fun time with that.
So do you think they should try to make a sequel or a prequel?
Definitely. I think. I mean, if I were them, well, see, okay. Here's my only issue with the way that it was done. So unless we go back and there are things that we didn't know, like there are short films, there are web series, there are other things that companion with this movie's gonna die. And this is my problem. It's Netflix. Netflix does not promote their films. They do like maybe one or two trailers or whatever, but they put that out like right before it comes out. Then they just release it and then let word of mouth. This movie will die from that kind of word of mouth because just not enough people are gonna like, especially that title. And we'll get to the title because I know you.
Yeah, yeah.
But the title is not enough to get people interested. We watched a movie for this on Tubi. for Indie Film Cafe called Fire City: End of Days. Fucking amazing movie. It's on. I think you could get it at the Dollar Tree too, or whatever. Like there was the movie, and it died basically. I think they're still trying to make a sequel to it. It's not going to do good. What you need to do when you make these kind of movies is you need to start developing an audience early, a pre-awareness of the movie, because nobody knows who the fuck these people are. Nobody knows what's going on. It's awesome script. I was watching it, taking notes on it myself for, my own shit of like, okay, this is how you do a good hour and 40-minute long or 50-minute long movie, or whatever, it was good, like wonderful movie. I feel like it's going to die because it just did not have enough stuff companioning it. It did not have, it didn't have comic books. It didn't have books. It didn't have enough awareness that once this movie dies, that's it. They can't make a sequel. Netflix isn't going to put money up for a sequel. You know what I mean? Like it would.
No, I get that. Yeah, because I only discovered it while I was kind of, I don't know, what would you like flipping through, like, you do that search through each movie, and then if you click on it, it will, you may get a trailer or something. And so I was flipping through those, and I saw that it said Night Teeth, and I'm like, oh, what's this? It looks like vampires. And then I clicked on it, and it showed a little bit of the movie, but I would have never known about it. And I think the title is what's going to really kill it, because you could call the film Love Bites, since it is about,
I wouldn't.
I mean, it's like,
I don't know what I would have
title is
called
just
it,
bad.
I don't know what I would have called it, because I never thought about it. If I had actually gave some thought, maybe I could come up with a title for it myself. But you have to call it something that's going to stand as a series. Night Teeth does not stand as a series. It's especially since, like, I get it. It's vampires at night. Like the whole idea is it takes place at night. Night Teeth. But it's going to die because it does not get enough, because it's on Netflix. That's my if this movie had been on Shudder, it would have fucking gone through the roof.
Oh, really? Okay.
Shudder is very good at marketing their films, and they are very good. Like, everybody knows, oh my God, Shudder. This is going to be on Shudder. Oh, this looks cool. Right? Netflix is terrible. They make 1 million movies a year, and not really, but it's an exaggeration. I'm sorry, but they make a lot of movies a year.
They do make a lot of movies,
and they do not market well, and they do that on purpose because they want word of mouth. That's how their advertising is, and that's fine. But that works only for movies like Harry Potter, or something that already has this awareness that they go, oh shit, Seinfeld is on Netflix. Everybody binge Seinfeld. It's on Netflix. See what I'm saying? So
yeah. I guess unless you're, because they unless you're somebody, like if you're Cobra Kai, they'll promote it. If you're Army of the Dead and you're Zack Snyder, they're going to promote it. And of course, now they're promoting the crap out of Army of Thieves. But but if you're Night Teeth and you're a screenwriter who's written one film and kind of a first-time director at this type of thing, even though he's done other stuff, it just kind of gets lost in Netflix limbo, which is unfortunate.
Exactly. So it is unfortunate. I'm glad that we're doing a review that will come out and people will be like, maybe they'll see it and they'll be like, oh man, I got to check out Night Teeth. But unfortunately it's going to die because, and I don't see that as like, oh, I'm guessing that this is going to happen. I'm pretty much guaranteeing you this is going to happen. There's not going to be a Night Teeth 2. There's not going to be a prequel. There's not going to be comic books. There's not going to be anything else. They're going to move on and make something else. And the writer has to make something, like, take Night Teeth from the creator of Night Teeth and start promoting other things. Leave Netflix. I hate to say it, until you become Zack Snyder. Stay the fuck. People are always like, how do I get to be on Netflix? You can't unless you are a big name person.
No, it's very difficult. Yeah.
People are like, oh, Netflix are buying shit all the time, blah, blah, blah. They're buying shit from Judd Apatow. They're buying
Adam Sandler,
Adam Sandler. They're not making things for regular people to make. That's bullshit. Don't listen to South Park. They're just joking. They're joking on that shit. That people actually are taking that shit seriously and thinking, oh man, I can make how do I get my movie on Netflix? You can't get your movie on Netflix until you have gotten enough, attention. And I don't know how this movie got even on Netflix. I'm guessing.
I would think that they knew somebody. That's what I saw. I watched a video on YouTube that was about how to like get a film made for Netflix, and it really was all about the person who you know. If you happen to become friends with somebody who works at Netflix, someone like a producer or somebody who has some sort of power, you have a much better chance of getting your film made on Netflix. If you don't know anybody, you're not going to get your stuff on Netflix. It doesn't matter what you do. It's Netflix is all about connections. And so maybe these guys have connections.
I watched, I asked Rebecca McKendry. I don't know if you know who that is, but she's a writer, director, and she's amazing. I love her to death. But I met her at Texas Frightmare weekend, and she was promoting stuff for Blumhouse because and Ryan Rotten was there, and I love him to death, and we chatted, right? And I said, Ryan, how do I get my movie to Blumhouse? Like, how do I get my script to Blumhouse? And Rebecca overheard and said, I'll take this if you don't mind, Ryan. And Ryan was like, sure. Right. So Rebecca was like, do a short film, right? Do a really good short film. This guy had some good short films, right? That he directed. I don't know what the other guy did, but he must have, maybe he did too. I don't know. Get your short film, in festivals, right? Get in front of managers, get a manager based on your really good short film. And then your manager will help you, get your stuff to Netflix or Blumhouse or whoever. Because that's the bridge generally, Well, managers know the people.
Yeah, you need the manager or the agent or something like that. But it's easier said than done. I mean, that's the thing is I know plenty of people who have managers and
good. Well, I mean, it depends on the manager. Do you need
definitely
to your manager? You can't have some random Joe Blow guy who says, I'm your manager, and everything, because you have to ask your manager, what connections do you have? Can you get the script in front of, Blumhouse? And so that becomes a thing where, Blumhouse goes to those managers and says, do you guys have any scripts for us? Right. The manager says blah, blah, blah. And then it becomes a solicited script. You hear people talk about all the time, unsolicited or solicited scripts.
Right.
That's the way to do it. You and I both know that it's really fucking hard to do that. Like, you have to be a really good fucking writer and filmmaker to get those things, or you have to make your own movies, like we do right now, until a manager comes to us,
Well, and that's why, I would buy, like, on Blu-ray if Night Teeth came out, and I would hope maybe that there's some sort of audio commentary or behind the scenes or something that might give a hint of how these guys got this film made, because you could talk to practically anybody on Facebook, and you see people that have made like 100 more movies than this director has. You see writers who have 20 scripts out there compared to this one guy who sold one. And like you'd said earlier, maybe this guy's written 50 scripts. Maybe he's only written 2. Who knows? But
contact the guy and ask him to be on one filmmaker, one film.
Oh, there you go. That's a thought. Yeah, I'll see if he's on Facebook or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And then ask him all those serious questions. That's the thing. You've asked them those really serious questions. That's how I started my podcasting stuff. Is I wanted to seek out these actors and directors and filmmakers who are doing the stuff that I wanted to do. But yeah, if you get a chance to interview that guy, I can send you a couple questions if you need any.
Yeah, I'll check to see if the writer and director are on there. Well, I did check for one because I found Blair to be really cute. So I did check for her on Facebook, but it's not a friend thing. It's more of a follow. So it's not, it's obviously somebody.
Dude, she was a Disney queen, she was Jessie on the TV show Jessie. She's a big name,
she looks familiar. I'm just not really, I'm not familiar with her work, but I do recognize her.
Yeah. I was not familiar with her work either until I looked it up, honestly. But then I said, oh shit. Cause I looked the first credits, Jessie, I believe, on IMDb. And that's a big time Disney TV show. And don't ask me, I know that. It's not like I watch this shit. It's like I want to keep in the know with a lot of Disney stuff. Because
how do you know that? How do you know that? We'll keep it just between you and I. How do you know that?
Oh, we'll keep it between you and I, and we'll talk later. I'll give you the hints later.
Well, so does anybody else on here look like they're from TV? Maybe this is maybe these are like TV people who made this. I mean, if you're saying that
the Benny guy, I don't think has been in anything. He was like,
well, let's click on it. Because he got the lead role in this, so he definitely impressed somebody.
Maybe auditioned. I don't know.
Because if you're saying that Alfie's from
Game of Thrones,
and then you have
oh shit. Okay, never mind. I am completely wrong. Dude's been in like Spider-Man, Homecoming, and our boy Benny's been in Alita, Battle Angel, and okay, I'm completely wrong. I will admit when I'm wrong, So yeah, the dude's been in a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, Bumblebee, Spider-Man.
Bumblebee. He's both Spider-Man, so obviously he'll probably be in the new one.
Oh, he's in the Wu-Tang Clan movie. Yeah.
So the dude's a big time actor, so never mind, I was wrong. Go Benny. I love that shit. If you're a Marvel guy, you're good in my book,
Yeah, you kind of came flying out the door in a way, because he's did a couple of things that aren't really that well known, but then boom, then there's Spider-Man Homecoming and Bumblebee and Battle Angel, Spider-Man Far From Home.
He wrote one of the songs, Come Alive, and he performed it, I guess. So that's awesome.
Okay.
Good. He was in a ton of shit, so good for him. I love that. I like, and he's in the new Spider-Man movie, so I'll look out for him. I just don't remember him from the Spider-Man movie, but those movies I haven't really watched Far From Home in a while, so I'll have to watch them again before the new one comes out.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Go.
All right. Well, okay then. Then that explains. But I don't know. Maybe that explains. Maybe it's just people who know each other, and that's how they got it made.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: for that movie, for those actors, a lot of those actors are probably people they've known. They're probably sought after. Oh, this guy's in Spider-Man. Let's get him on the movie. There's this girl's on Disney movie shows, and We got Megan Fox to make a 1-minute cameo.
That's why they got to know people. How do you get Megan Fox to be on screen for 5 minutes? I mean, you would think that she would be one of the vampires.
She is one of the vampires.
No, but like one of the 2 main vampires. No. You know that's her quality right there. So yeah, they had her for one night, and that's it. So somebody knows somebody.
Also, I think it was a setup for like future stuff because remember, she didn't die. You know,
I thought he killed them both.
Like, did he?
I think Victor killed everybody in that house. Yeah.
Oh.
We didn't see it. It was all off screen, which was kind of lame.
That's the thing. I don't remember them saying that they died. So I figured she was still alive. I don't know. I was wrong. God, I've been wrong in a lot of this thing. God, ugh.
I think I'm pretty
once,
sure Victor says that he killed everybody. So there were like the two. I think there was the 2 of them. Then he killed them because he goes, "Oh, I'm going to kill you." We never see it, and then that's when Jay comes in with the other guy, and then they find like the other vampire that's there, and then they shoot him up. So yeah, I think that it's he just kind of wiped everybody out.
God damn Victor.
Damn him. Damn people named Victor that are vampires.
I'm sure there's more. I know there's Victor Frankenstein, right? Or something, you know.
But he's a scientist. He's a mad scientist.
Now that would be cool if Victor Frankenstein was a vampire.
Oh, there you go. Well,
you take like Dracula and, you know.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think, like, isn't it something like Monster Squad or whatever it is? Doesn't the vampire in that, doesn't Dracula bring like the monster back to life?
He brings all of them back to life, I think.
Yeah. So in a way, I haven't seen it in a long time. So
he wasn't a vampire though. He didn't like turn them into vampires.
No.
The werewolf who had nards wasn't a vampire too.
No. I think he just kind of brought them back.
But it would have been cool if if Frankenstein was a vampire too, like, I don't know. See, those little things are kind of fun to like play with, because it gives something new to this like world that, that already exists. Like, because there's so many fucking vampire movies, like you drop a hat, there's a vampire movie, like whatever. And that's perfect. But you have to make something original after a while. You got to just keep, you have to say, okay, I'm going to make this movie, but it's going to be a vampire movie, but with like True Blood and with Collateral and with like the Warriors and with, this and that and Grand Theft Auto and I'm going to put them all together and I'm going to make this into this big, huge universe where, blah, 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 blah happens. And then people go, okay, I'll buy that. Let's do it. And then you can explore more. Like I feel the only other thing I didn't like, and I was going to bring this up earlier, but I forgot, was we didn't get to really get to know Benny enough because like we didn't even, the thing that annoyed me was we did not need to see his friends, that scene at the club and his friends are like, oh, joking on him and stuff and everything, and then you see them again later, I'm like, why are these people coming back into this?
I think it's kind of like the like Superman 2, where Clark gets beaten up by the trucker in the bar, and then later on when he gets his powers back, he goes back and just like kicks the shit out of the guy. I think it's that type of thing, is that you're showing Benny as this kind of pushover. He's kind of meek. He doesn't have a lot of friends. It's all about music. And he knows these people, like he's more acquaintances with them. And they kind of pick on him and make fun of him and stuff like that. Only then for him later on to kind of be like, fuck you guys. I got this hot chick on my, on my shoulder.
Well, sort of, but like, okay, I would buy that if there wasn't one part that really fucking irked me. At the end of the movie, you see those two, the boyfriend and girlfriend come over to him right before the car pulls up and everything, and the guy acts like, "Hey Benny, why have you not been hanging out with us lately? You know, we're missing you." And I'm like thinking, weren't you just like joking on him and teasing him like earlier about everything? Like, were you really his friend or not? Like, I don't, you know.
I saw that now as like their hanger-ons, that it's like we didn't care about Benny, we made fun of him, but now he could get us to the clubs. So Benny, where you been, buddy? Where you been, man?
I didn't buy that at all. I thought the guy was actually very genuine and actually was friends with him. That's what I thought.
Well, because you see Benny look at I guess it's in the class or whatever, where Benny looks at the girl, and then the guy puts his arm around her.
True.
Because I thought he was going to be more of a bully, but I guess that it's just that I don't think like they know him, but he's just kind of a joke.
See, I would have liked more of like an interaction between them, like when they were in the classroom afterwards, maybe the guy comes up to Benny and talk to him or something. I just like, or whatever, not in a mean way, like, dude, stay away from looking at my girlfriend, like how they would do it mostly these days. It's like,
right,
bullying and everything. I would have seen him as like, him just kind of joking on him and being like, hey man, you're falling asleep in your class, blah blah, and being friends with them. And then when he saw him at the, like, because he just kept like, it looked like he just kept teasing him, but not in a mean way, like mean, harsh way. It's just like, hey, this guy's a loser. You're my buddy, Benny. You're a loser. You'll always be a loser, but you're my friend. That kind of thing. That's how I viewed it. I don't know. It's weird. So I don't know. Like, I felt like there should have been more explored with that.
Well, I mean, I think he was going to eat them at the end when he's like, "Guys, want to ride?"
Oh yeah.
I think he definitely wanted to eat them because he realized that they were users. That's my take on it. Is like, you're not my friends, and so we're just going to eat you.
But at first, he doesn't invite them in. He just says, "Hey, I'm gonna, I gotta go." And he gets in the car. Then he rolls down the window and says, "You guys want to ride?" I don't know. Like, I felt like I couldn't tell, like where he was really at. And maybe that's part of the problem of the movie, is like there were things that were explored, but not explored enough,
Right.
And look, that might be a problem with the like pacing of the movie. Is the movie is already almost 2 hours long, as we said. So like, we can't have it be 2.5 to 3 hours long and have all this stuff. I mean, I honestly would have been okay with it, and secondly, this could have been a better series, like, because I feel like there's still more stuff that could have been explored as a series, than a feature film.
Well, maybe that was the intention, is don't give it all away, because we'll make, Night Teeth 2 and Night Teeth 3 and, all of that stuff.
Or maybe a TV series.
Or like, a TV series, yeah. Yeah, this would probably be, I think, a better like extended mini series maybe than like a 2-hour movie. Like, just this is their setup, but then we re-explore it. If they did like a series, might be a little better. Get to know Benny a little bit more, the girls a little bit more.
And Benny's now a vampire, right? Like at the end of it. So, he's now a vampire. He's one of them. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
They could do like a Godfather thing or whatever, where like half the movie, Godfather 2, where like half the movie is, takes place before, and you explore the stuff before, but then you also halfway explore also what's going on now,
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there was that with Don Corleone, where it's the similarities between him and Michael, and when Michael says, "I'll never be like my dad," and he's actually even worse than his dad. So it could be interesting. So, well, all right. Well, then I was gonna say, let's give a rating, but I'm gonna do it a little different than you. So I'm gonna say like 1 is bad, 10 is great. But let's say, how many teeth would you give, since this is vampires? How many teeth would you give this film?
Okay, so each one you're gonna say like a different thing,
Yeah. So if you do like a movie about subs, how many submarines would you give? Something like that. Yeah.
I was
how many
Godzillas
sandwiches,
would you give? But all right. let's see. How many teeth would I give of this movie? I
One
didn't
being the
think
worst, 10 being
about
the
it.
best.
I'd give it a 7.5. Can we go halves or?
Yes.
Okay, 7.5.
One and a half teeth.
No,
Or
seven
seven and a half teeth. Yeah.
Yes.
And why is that?
It's because I feel like once again there were problems, little problems I had with it, like the crashing of the car. I didn't buy that. Things I said like it should have been explored more. Things like that. It's just I feel like it had some moments that were great, but it wasn't perfect or anything. It wasn't like near there. But it was fun and enjoyable, and it wasn't like when I say like five is usually like blah, it's okay, but it wasn't. It was meh, or whatever. 7.5, it's like close to being up there, I guess.
Okay. And then I'm going to give it 8 teeth. So I'm going to go just above you because it was 8 teeth. So it wasn't perfect, but it was well directed. It was well edited. I did like the music, kept it going. I liked the 2 girls. Benny was not annoying. He was, I think he was a good character. I do agree with you with Victor. I think he could have been a little more, I don't know, maybe older or taller or something. But overall, I would recommend it. Yeah. He just seemed a little menacing. Too.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem is they picked the guy who played Theon Lovejoy or Greyjoy. I said Lovejoy, Greyjoy. He wasn't a very scary and intimidating guy, I don't think, in Game of Thrones. But he wasn't supposed to be, or whatever. In this, he was supposed to be intimidating. I just didn't. I guess
I would have no reference to that. I've seen 2 or 3 episodes of Games of Thrones. I got to see the chick from Terminator Genesis naked, and I turned it off. So that was my goal, and I succeeded with my goal. So I'm like, oh, good, she got naked, and I'm done. So.
Oh, I mean, was that your goal from the very beginning? Like you knew she was naked in the movie, and then you just went and looked for her?
Yeah, well, everybody told me that like everybody was naked in Game of Thrones, and there was all these sex scenes and all this, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, she's the dragon chick. Maybe she gets naked in there, and then once she disrobed or whatever it was, then it was like, I am done. So I didn't like the 3 episodes I saw. I did not like a Game of Thrones. I did not find one likable character. I did not enjoy it. It just frustrated and irritated me. So I turned it off after my goal was reached.
Interesting, because I think there's a million characters on that show that are likable and interesting. But I mean, yeah, you know what? I wasn't the original target audience for Game of Thrones because I never read the books. I never got into it. Like once again, another thing where it was started out as a book and then became this big thing. There was a huge fan base for it, and then they made the TV series. There was no books or anything for Night Thief as far as I know.
There's none.
And so it wasn't. It was an option property that, I guess was supposed to, do well. Hopefully, that was their hope. And I don't think it did well.
I mean, my thought on it would be that the writer of it was watching Collateral and then said, "Hey, what if Tom Cruise was a vampire?" And that's kind of where it went in Collateral.
No, I'm saying, isn't Tom Cruise a vampire? Just period.
Well, he is Lestat, yes.
No, I'm saying in real life.
He's a Scientologist. I think he's really... Which that's close to being a vampire.
Maybe they dive into that a little bit more. I don't know. I don't want you to go get attacked by Scientology, so we'll just stop talking about that.
I am a Tom Cruise fan, so I'm okay. So I don't like Scientology, but I do give money to Tom Cruise, so I think
I love Tom Cruise too.
So there we go.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. It's one of those things where vampires. I mean, there's a lot of movies and TV shows about vampires. It just, it could have done really, really well, in my opinion. They had their pre-awareness of the project, but unfortunately, I never heard of it. You never heard of it. I'm
No.
pretty sure that if we said, have anybody seen Night Teeth, maybe some people in our friends, because we do have horror fanatics, that might have come across it because of the same thing you did, which is they were looking around for movies and then, that popped up and they go, oh, a horror film and, Netflix,
Right.
which isn't that popular of a thing in Netflix as much as like comedy is or something, drama, TV shows,
Yeah.
if this were a TV show, I think it really would have been lost, in shuffle, because there are a million TV shows, even more,
Right.
like more than Netflix does.
And you got to be a name these days with these TV shows. So not everybody,
the writer,
can do the Haunting of Hill House. So.
Well, even The Haunting of Hill House had a name. Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
Is a
No,
name.
that's what I'm saying. Not everybody could do that. He
Right.
got that because he is Mike Flanagan.
Right. So people are like, oh, Mike Flanagan, you want to, create a show. Now he's done like 3 shows for them, or whatever, and continuing to do so. So
yeah,
good for him. I love Mike. I've loved him since I first saw Oculus, and I was like, this movie's great.
And he made a great vampire film too. Yeah, Midnight Mass. That was a great vampire film.
I haven't seen it yet, and my friend Vincent Pereira gets on my case about that all the time.
It is good.
I might watch it this weekend. Because I don't have any podcasts planned for the weekend, so I can just sit back and watch that. I'll probably do that because I won't review it though. I think you've told me before. Why don't you watch something and not review it? Watch something for fun. And I'm like,
it's great, especially if you like really great dialogue. I mean, there are very, very long Tarantino monologue scenes that are very well written, but they go on for a very long time. So, but yeah, so check that out. So,
I definitely will.
Yeah. So check it out. So let's wrap this up then. And so we recommend Night Teeth, and people should see it. It's on Netflix. And give it a chance, please. It's going to be that little movie that nobody watches. So please go out and check it out.
Sadly, it really deserves. And I'll promote this thing. I'll let people know, go check this movie out, because a lot of people probably haven't heard of this movie, and that's a shame, man. Once again, it's because Netflix produced it. And they just. Their marketing strategy needs a rebuffing. They need a rebranding of that, because it's just terrible. They're but it's because they have so many movies, and there's only so much like they can do, but it would be cool. I'd have to check out other stuff. Maybe they are marketing it better than I know. And,
I don't think so, because I found it by mistake, and normally even on Facebook they would at least do like a Facebook page, for their stuff, where it just says like Night Fang is Netflix. And this, I couldn't find anything. I found like like somebody made a page up. Like it's not actually. I don't think it's actually Netflix.
Oh wow, I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, there's nothing. There's a page that only has 108 likes.
Yeah, so that's obviously not Netflix. That's somebody made that page up, because maybe they got frustrated like us. Maybe we're like, well, shit, people need to see this movie. It's good, so I'm going to make up a Facebook page.
Yeah. Oh, they're doing a bad. Yeah, they're definitely not Netflix, because they're promoting watch free only here.
Oh, that's never a good thing. Okay.
Yeah, don't do that. No, watch it on Netflix.
Yeah,
because that money that doesn't go to the filmmakers, and we love promoting and putting the pockets into the filmmakers.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know how Netflix works though on that stuff. So anyway,
yeah, more stuff to look into.
There we go. That's our review.
That's it, everybody. We're done. The first one is done. Right. Yay! Woo! Hail to the red, white, and us. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. So, all right, everybody. This will, I don't know, maybe once a month for this, maybe twice a month. Who knows? I don't know. Matters how well people like this one. So, but it's an
It's an
experiment.
interesting idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's it. All right. So I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm gonna wave like I normally do. Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Bye. Bye. Jonathan says bye
Bye.
too. Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging out after the video. And thank you for watching the very first Dark Park Films sponsored video. And who is that sponsor? Well, I've now learned if I do this with my hands, they go to the right area. There we go. That would be Wildlife Command Center Coffee. And you can purchase it right there. You can go to their website, which is buyWCC.com, and pick up their coffee. They have 2 blends, which I'm going to show you now. The first coffee is this one right here. This is a breakfast blend. It's 10 ounces, and it is a medium ground. And it does say, and it's breakfast, like I said, and this is what it says right here. It says, early bird can catch the worm. So there you go, a breakfast blend coffee that helps you catch the worm in the morning. And I really like this one. I'm more of a breakfast kind of blend coffee guy in the morning. So this one I really like. It has that little bit of oomph to it to kind of get you moving, get you up and out. And so I really enjoy this one, but that doesn't mean that I don't like the other one, which is this one right here. This is a dark roast. It is also 10 ounces. And both of these are $7.99 at their website. Pretty good price for 10 ounces worth of ground coffee. This one is, it's a little darker. So it's, I think it's better for drinking at night. Maybe if you're, writing a screenplay or if you're filming, this has got that oomph, that double punch to get you going. So this is one that I also recommend. I like both of these quite a bit, but I kind of do, the breakfast in the morning and then the dark more at night. So I recommend both of these quite a bit. And how did I find out about these two, these 2 coffees here? And how did I find out about Wildlife Command Center? Well, when I was working on Night of the Zomghouls, there was a box of coffee that was just sitting there, filled with coffee. And we didn't know what to do with it. Like, whose is this? Who brought it? Why is it here? And so we just kept going to the store and buying coffee. And then one day I said, why don't we just get the coffee out of the box and use that instead of, wasting money on going to Smith's or whatever and picking up coffee. So we did. We did not realize that it was the Wildlife Command Center coffee and that it, was sponsoring the movie. And it was great coffee. Everybody loved it. And we just went right through it. By the last day of filming, this coffee was gone. And I went and found out, about Wildlife Command Center, asked if they would like to be a sponsor for Dark Park Films, for their coffee. As many of you know, I love coffee. I love coffee mugs. And so this was a perfect match. And Wildlife Command Center is great with animals. So they provide a great service for rescuing animals. So it's kind of that double whammy for me, where coffee, helping animals, you can't go wrong. And they were even cool enough to send me, get in there, a coffee mug, because they knew that I liked coffee mugs. And right now, I don't get that. A little bit. I want to go on the keyboard, but that's their dark blend, because I'm recording this at night. So I am actually drinking that while recording. Also, one thing that you can get at their website, which is cool, is you can get this. There you go. This pocket knife, which is $9.49. And this is pretty cool because it has their name on it. Wildlife Command Center, we can catch it. And this is what it looks like. Put that down there. There we go. Fully out. So you're getting like the bottle opener, you got the corkscrew, you got a screwdriver, you got a blade, and then you got this little hook thing that you can pop it into something that doesn't have a tab, and then the liquid or whatever in there will come out. So this is pretty cool. And I'm just going to keep mine in my car because you never know. You might need a pocket knife. So please support them. I'm going to have links down below, where you can, check out just the Wildlife Command Center. I'll also have a link for Wildlife Command Center coffee, and it will basically be for both these guys right here. And please support them. I support them. I think what they do is pretty awesome. And maybe this coffee will be on your set or in your kitchen. It will definitely be, on my set in my kitchen. I know that. So please, once again, I'm going to show you these. Please go to their website and pick up their coffee and make it part of your day or night, depending on which one you like. So that'll be about it. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, so thank you. And once again, please support my channel. Please support the Wildlife Command Center. And I will catch you later. Bye.